tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the bottom line, Liberia.
You're muted.
And today is Friday, August 29, 2025. This is the final edition for August. And we want to say welcome to you wherever you are. If it is in the afternoon, we'll say good afternoon. If in the morning, we'll say good morning. In the evening, like outside, good evening. The time is precisely 16 minutes past or 9 o'clock, and we've been doing some work in the background just to be able to come on. And I want to say welcome to my colleague Paul the Lord Churuple. He's in London. Paul, how is it from your end?
Well, good evening to you and good evening to our viewers. From my end, it's good, and I want to say it's good to be among the living, and I'm happy to be in paradise today. It's another beautiful day in London. How your end?
Well, my end is good. Our weather switch on us automatically, and it's like in Liberia, that kind of rainy season time, right, where the sky is just gloomy and small rain. But that's how it's been since today, and it's gonna be like that maybe tomorrow evening. But all is good, health wise, and yes, any other thing is good. We enjoy the peace and tranquility. I think that's the most important thing that we in the Scandinavia enjoy peace all the time. Peace. But let's say welcome to all of you, our viewers. And don't get me wrong, don't think that there's no violence in the Scandinavia. People can do crazy things. Wherever you see human beings, they can do crazy things. But we got law and order. That's the biggest difference.
Yeah. And for those of you that view us from Jala Television, please just put thumbs up so we can recognize you. If you're viewing us from the Bottomland uh, page, just put thumbs up so we recognize you. So if you're on YouTube as well, just thumbs up so we can recognize you. Yeah, it's good for the world to be peaceful, my brother. So what's on the menu today?
Well, on the local scene that is from Liberia, we're going to be looking at the appointments of government officials, not only to the DEA, but from different ministries, people that have been appointed and subsequently dismissed. It's like you appoint a guy today, then the next minute you dismiss him, then you bring another one, then the next minute you dismiss him. So we're going to be looking at what's the root cause. I mean, not that we got solution or we got an answer to the root cause, but we're going to be looking at possibilities. What could be going wrong? So we'll dive into that. But the constant appointment and subsequent dismissals of people, something is wrong. Something is not right. So we'll be giving our own analysis on what could be wrong.
Right. Great. So on the international scene, we'll briefly talk about the situation in Ukraine and Russia. But today, our focus point will be Mama Africa. And what we'll be looking at Mama Africa, if you're Liberian and you want visa to come to the UK, there's a British embassy in Monrovia, but you cannot get visa from there. They make you to travel to Ghana, or when you're on an official trip, then you travel to Sierra Leone to obtain visa. So these African countries now are getting fed up with the Western world on this visa thing that you have to spend more money before you obtain visa. So the African countries now are wising up that when these people come to us for our mineral, but when we go into them, they have the embassy, but they make it so difficult. You have to travel to a country that far away from you to obtain visa. So they started now what we call reciprocate the whole thing on the Europeans and the Americans. So we'll be looking at it today on the African scene. Yeah. And we'll briefly talk about Why did Russia stress so hard on Ukraine lately? So the Western media have not carried the story one-sided, but they fail to realize also the the Russia retaliated for a reason. So be looking at that as well. Let's bring Padoli. All right, Dolly, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I I was a little bit late, to be honest. I just arrived from work.
It's okay. At least we have you. So,
Yeah.
Linford, so we can do a quick musical break while we share the show, and then so for our main viewer, we share the other page because we're having technical issue with the main page. So I will share that, and then Linford, you can share it also in your group. So let's play some nice Liberian music to start the program because we'll be looking at Mama Liberia in particularly. Let's see what's here.
Yeah.
It's Foxy, baby. That's why the hits, that's why the noise. Oh. No matter what life brings at me, I will stay happy for my sanity. Hold it, jolly, 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 jolly on my mind all day. When I get done, don't hate. When I get done, don't worry. I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. When I get nobody. I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. When I get nobody. They can say I love you all day, but they can't see what's in for me. Yeah, I did not know, say happiness like my routine. When they see me laughing, plenty they Jeffy say I'm a bumpy. But I did not know, say they probably I can't afford it. I can't everything in me, John everything in boy. I can't fight what in before me, but I know what in good for me. I can't play on my peace of mind, you know. I do win it for my head, yeah. I wanna in competition with nobody, but who never says I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. When I get nobody. I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. When I get nobody.
I dribble my way through life with blessing. I can't play fun with my happiness, so and I got me low like my problem. And I got me low like my problem. Walk up, walk up, walk up, walk up. Big boys ain't can be noise. I let to him and go to where my head can fit. Nothing coming to be drop life. Mama problem plenty, oh. So they lick up, I will go drink it one time. I say they do them plenty. I will take one and don't get myself hard time. Enjoyment pass enjoyment. Let me enjoy my life, oh. We lose some, we win some.
I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. When I get nobody. I'm a happy player. Every day I enjoy me. I'm a happy player. When I get nobody. Mampa, mia, let's go party, oh. Every day I jolly, oh. No time to be dolly, oh. Mia, let's go party, oh. Every day I jolly.
Welcome to the Bottom Discussion. This is the Bottom Discussion. We are broadcasting from Europe. With me is Maury Dolly and Lynn Fogwell. The key presenter himself is in Norway. Gentlemen, today is Friday. It's the last edition of the program for this month. So, tonight will be firing. Padole, welcome to
Yeah.
the Bottom. How are you?
Well, I'm okay. I'm all right. Managing life bit by bit. No cause to complain, absolutely. I'm glad to be with you guys at all time.
Great. It's good to have you too. We got James Gardner is watching from Iowa, USA. Welcome, James. Thank you for joining us for the first time. I'm my first time seeing his name. Yeah, but the other one, Linfo, take us through. What's up? International first or Liberia first?
Well, I think we should go briefly international first, and then from there we can do Liberia because we're going to spend a lot on the Liberia team. So, if you go to the international stories, then we can discuss it briefly while our viewers are getting settled, and then we can flow to Liberia.
Right.
I
Okay,
think
so
I sent something to you guys today on the borderline.
yeah, I received it. It's about 30-minute long. It's too long, but these are the Western propaganda. We'll talk about it today. So on this program, our focus will be mainly on Africa, and then we'll briefly talk about the European nonsense that is happening, the hypocrisy, and then we'll talk about Africa. Why is it African now? The new leaders in Africa seem to be very, very wise compared to the old leaders. So we'll be looking at Africa in particular. Why our people don't use what we call common sense. It's just is that the reason why? Because when you're back or you don't you seem not to do the right thing. So we'll be looking at that. So yeah, international siesta. I mean, Linfa, we're not going to put any video or newspaper article up on this. Everyone aware the situation in Gaza. We know what the Jewish people doing is wrong. The Western country, for some reason, they don't want to talk about it. And then in Europe, they are more like focusing on the Ukrainian crisis. So what happened a few days ago? Ukraine came up with the new development that they came up with a new missile they developed. They call it Flamingo that can travel deep into Russia. So they did their testing and then they went and blew up one of the Russian oil refineries. And that went quiet. The Western world could not talk about it. So day before yesterday, Russia decided to say, you know what? This getting out of hand now. So they went on the Ukrainian full blast. Not only Kiev, they took a lot of their military facility, including those people that facilitated the UK in particular, and then the EU. They went for their headquarters because that's where it's the assembly point where they discuss how to attack Russia. And so they went for Kiev. So this thing now is going out of hand. There will be no peace talk. The Russian will go on full blast on this until they capture what they want. The Donbass area that they want. When they have the full area, the war will stop. So, guys, what say you guys before we move to Africa? Padoli, talk to
Yeah,
us and then
yeah. Basically, what I heard about the Ukrainian war, one of the tip I just sent to you guys today for to go able because it's too long, so you have to have a sufficient time to see everything because there's a lot of sensitive information were in that. Uh, the consul general office at the Ukraine capital were hit by the Russian missile. Uh, that got the British a little bit angry with the situations. I don't know what would be the retaliation from them because Russia is a country where he's not a little boy that he can get mass on them. So for me to be realistic, the people are playing devil being in this thing here. I hope God will save the whole world to, to, to reduce the tension in this matter, because at the end of the day, when anything go off hand, the least people will suffer it more than any other people. So basically, that's the reason why I believe that we all should keep praying that tensions will come down, because the Ukrainians, they're not going to regain every area that have been captured by Russia so easily. So if you decide you want all that property, all that land from Ukraine, coming from Russia, I think it will take a lot of centuries before they can get it. So I hope that there will be a better solution to this. But one thing that I can't really understand, Paul and Libor, is this: why Donald Trump is so quiet after this shock forum that he had with the European leaders and also.
But the thing is, Donald Trump is not quiet because there was a press briefing from the White House. You know, they have this briefing every day. And that question was posed to the lady who gave the press briefing. And she said, look,
Public officers.
she said that the president is not happy because what happened, Ukraine was the first to attack the people, or how they call it, or farmer, and he knew that Russia will retaliate. So, but on the western side, you only hear, oh, there was massive attack on Ukraine. They killed, I think, 2 babies. That was the headline. But then on the other side, in Gaza, every day 50 babies are being killed. So they don't talk about that one. So in a war situation, the Russian came up. If you go on the Russian Defense Ministry Telegraph side, they said it. They targeted key strategic areas that have to do with military facilities that they use to create things. And it happened to be the places they targeted, that those places that were they're hosting. So the British consular is one of them. They went for it, and the EU center, because this where they sit down, and then because if it's EU, they will not attack us. But the Russians didn't have. They went for them full blast. They went for people in Donbass, so they were all over. Remember when Trump said that he hand not in the war, but he hand in the war by setting arms to NATO. So those arms had arrived. So the Russians went after them 2 days ago. So if you hear this massive threat, it was based on that. It was not only Kiev alone.
Yes, you are.
Linford?
Well, Patoli asked, why is it that Trump is quiet? Trump is not quiet. Trump gets frustrated at some point. Let me tell you one thing. I can tell you this much. All the groups in our war have made some mistakes. From the Trump, which is America, all the way to Ukraine and our own EU people here, and even Russia. You see, if I were Russia, I would not have listened to anybody talking about peace, talk, whether that America or whoever. I will fight the war. If anybody gets mad, and you know that you want to join in, then you join in. Because the thing is, they come to Russia, Trump believes that he's calling Russia, and they will talk. And he's merely interested in the minerals in Ukraine. So he wants to tell Russia, look, slow down this war. But at the same time, Trump came out publicly and announced that he will be selling the weapons to the EU people who want Ukraine to sustain this war. So how can you want peace, then you're selling weapons to people who are fighting me, and then you want me to live? So Russia should just have disregard the Trump. Everybody, at the end of the day, if Trump wants them to talk, they can talk. And do whatever they can do to Ukraine. But now they are getting late because it's getting frustrated. All the time, Ukraine is hitting and damage and causing extensive damage to Russia. And Russia too is coming and taking Ukrainian territories. And so Trump gets frustrated in a deal. That's why he's kind of quiet. Do you remember one time he broke up a peace talk and nobody was supposed to fight? And just in the time you were supposed to travel somewhere and the people grab you at the airport or interview. I think you're coming from where you playing it, Marabago or waiting.
Yeah.
And when they asked him, he was so frustrated he had to use the F word. So,
Uh-huh.
all of them made mistake. And Ukraine too is making mistake. Ukraine will go, Zelensky will go to the White House, sit down with Trump and talk and behave like, he wants a deal. Then at the end of the day, they will sign something, they will talk something tentatively, and just before daybreak, they start attacking. Because Ukraine got these EU people behind him and say, look, you're doing. You can make it. Go, we'll support you. So Trump too is interested in a business part where he was selling arms to the NATO, where our NATO use that under that business. Okay. So Ukraine now is the hottest market for that weapon, for those weapons. So as long as those weapons are available and EU can lay their hand on it or NATO can lay hands on them and then try to distribute them to Ukraine, this war is going to drag for a little bit longer. The last time last Tuesday I made a prediction that if America will withdraw from this war, it wouldn't take long. It will not even take up to the end. Yeah, it wouldn't even take up to the end of this year. But as things are going, if these weapons that Trump talked about are actually out for sale, and NATO or the coalition of the willing can lay hands on it, they're going to keep pushing Ukraine, and Ukrainians going to keep dying while America makes money and Russia gains territory and Russia also sustains injury. So it's going to be around for a while. How it will end, nobody can give a clear cut answer to that. But we know it will end. It's going to end. The last I told you, and some kind of automatic way. Okay. Yeah. Or Ukrainian can say, no, listen, we tired with this thing. We are dying. With the other move Zelensky or a mass protest or somebody come to their aid. Or Russia can say, no, listen, I think we've gained enough territory. Let's go to a negotiating table. Ukraine, you back down. The territories that we got, we can stop here. We don't want to go further, But then the arms deal, what happened to the stock of arms that Donald Trump pushed on them? They pay for all that arms and they want to use it with the hope that they can win. And
So,
who knows?
but Linfa, this is funny though. Our daughter asked a question, say what the UK will do because their consular were hit. What they did is summon the Russia ambassador. That's all. But daughter, the group they call the coalition of the waiting. All of them, you put them together. If they put boots on the ground, the Russian will wipe all of these countries up. They know that. That's what they keep saying. They want security from America because they don't have the arm. They're not capable. So they just big mouth and talk. But then who's suffering? Zelensky, who don't have common sense, he allowed his people to die. So
they hit a British consulate in Ukraine?
Yeah, in Kiev were hit.
Okay.
The Russians said they went for
happening.
all the places that they felt that these people were producing arms to hit deeper into Russia. They targeted all. And one of the places that they hit, although there were apartment building, 19 persons got killed with I think two young children. But the fact is they went for all. So it was not only Kiev, all across Ukraine. They went for full blast. And they were using all different kinds of ballistic missiles they were using.
And when the coalition of the willing say, well, look, listen, Ukraine, you're fighting war. No, we've discussed the thing for so long. And I remember, I think vividly on this particular platform, I said, it's like, I'm your little brother and we're walking. And you get problem with a guy, but you want to engage a guy. I don't want you pushing it. Say, go find that man. Anything, I'll come for you. When they be beating me there, run back to you, say, go, you can still make it. That's what Ukraine is doing. The coalition how many of them got patrol will come in. The coalition of the willing, how many of them got soldiers dying on the ground right now as we speak? No, none of them. But they are using the Ukrainian and Zelensky too. There's something is wrong with him. He look at the weapon, he's like, yeah, the one can destroy. Yes, he can destroy. But who's going to use it? Your people, your citizens. And who's using it and dying? Your people. So, and they think where EU EU countries, all the coalition of the winning, all the NATO countries are asking security from America. America is not God. America can be defeated. America was defeated in Vietnam. America can be defeated. America could not make it in Cambodia. All these small countries that America went and failed. You can see it. America could not make it even in Iraq. They had to recruit Iraqi soldiers to fight for them. So if they think that America can support all of them to turn on to Russia, Russia to get people who can support them. So so we are dragging into a dragnet. We are going to something bigger that they're not looking at. This America ain't got friends everywhere. This America has got a lot of enemies, even right here in Africa. You think you think Libyan people are happy with America? No. In the Middle East, you think the Iraqis are happy with America? No. It's a fair no. You think Iran happy with America? Big no. Okay? So you're doing this thing. America is not God on earth. America, they're humans. They can be hate. You see, when we hate people hate them. And then what we're going to a big calamity. So I think the world leaders will have to look at this toothless bulldog organization that are eating for nothing money around the world called the UN. I think this group should be dissolved and
Absolutely.
something else.
Absolutely. That group is
One of
useless.
the activities that are going on in Ukraine at this moment now is the citizens themselves are getting together to stop the recruitment of their children. They have started it now. They no longer allowing any recruiting officer to go anywhere to recruit anybody. So even though there was a video to that effect, some of the people that went to convince the community people to give their children for war, they were beaten by the community people. They were beaten.
If you listen to me carefully, I mentioned it. I said this war will end some kind of way. It's a lot of Ukrainian people who say, look, enough is enough. We get rid of Zelensky. How do we get rid of him? Well, I don't have the blueprint. But it will be somebody just stepping in.
The citizens have already started.
Somebody could just step in and shoot this guy in the head and say, look, listen, we tired with you. We want to military people. Shoot this guy in the head and say, look, we tired with this nonsense. We have died too much. Or do we arrest him and put you on a house arrest and say, you and your family not leaving, we have died until the war can finish. No, something will happen. So, I trust the American, I trust the Europeans. They love to kill each other. So they will kill each other enough. When that happens, then somebody will start thinking, no, this nonsense is too much. What happened to Hitler? Today, nobody can give total account of Hitler. So no matter what happened, the rope can be as long as it can be. But when you hold it and hold it and hold it, you'll reach the end. This war is not going to be everlasting.
And you know what's going to happen, Linford? Ukraine will not join NATO. They will not join the EU. And then Ukraine will not become the way Gaza looking. Because the Russian now, the moment if you hit them, they're going to hit harder. And what happened? They know the West is playing double standard. You setting arms and you want peace. So you don't want peace. So they will go harder on the Ukrainian. And until they capture all of these places, you see here, you see the map?
You
see
the remaining portion there, right?
It keep going. It will extend. You see the place
so
down
the white part is the main Ukraine.
So as the war continue, if you look at Crimea, South Crimea, and you see they get Odessa. All of these places, the Russia will capture it before they will seize all. And then in the Donbass region there, South Kharkiv, that is, if you look at Donetsk, Luhansk, all these places, these are the richer part of it. So when they capture the whole part that have the main mineral, then now Ukraine is completely zero. They will have nothing to. So therefore, is the Russians not talking as much as they keep taking land. If they take the main one that have all their mineral resources, the game is over. The buffer zone starts.
But you see on that map, if you look at that map, you see how Russia encircle Ukraine. Right after Luhansk, go up there, you see Kharkiv. How far is Kharkiv from Kiev? How far is Kharkiv from Dnipropetrovsk? So
it's not far.
It's that far. We're talking about land distance. We're talking about maybe some 100 and some more kilometers. So if Russia, because Russia got all the places, Luhansk, Donetsk, and Zaporizhia, and Kherson. So all the area they got they under their control. They can they can make a military base and be training people there, recruit all the people that there. They are Russian speaking people anyway. They be there, they be training there, they bring most of their weapons there. That will be very close to Kiev. And when they say, okay, say we are taking the southeast part of Ukraine, let's go to the northeast now, then the north now. Then they start moving northeast to Kharkiv, and then in Kharkiv, then they start going around. So where would they go? So the only exit for them would be the part of the southwest, which would be also Belarus and other places. So what they'll do in Belarus is supporting Russia. So, but this thing, like I said, it will be dramatic. The war will end. Some kind of one money will say, oh, it will end up in a war. Oh, like Liberal people say, it will end up. Oh, that's how it's going to end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's true. So next week we'll be looking at something interesting. Russia allies, they are meeting to celebrate the Chinese Lunar Victory Day in September. And guess who joining them? The rocket man from North Korea.
Oh, the little rocket man Johnny?
The rocket man Johnny. So guess they having about 36 or 26 delegates, presidents from all around the world. So the rocket man and Putin will be with the Chinese president. So they want to know what position. So the Western world now seeing that these are all nuclear power and their allies, the meeting in China. So watch the next will be interesting. So all of this nonsense, and also Venezuela, Trump is not picking on Venezuela. That's something we need to watch out for. And Venezuela won't be the Panama that the nonsense that they did with Noriega.
Oh, so, when Trump said military Venezuela deployed 4,000 strong men right away.
Yeah, so it's something that we'll be looking at. So it'll be interesting. So yes. So on the other news, on the other international news, and this one will fascinate you all. It's Mama Africa. You know, when you're in Liberia, you need visa for UK, France. If you need visa for France, you got to travel to Ivory Coast. But there's a French embassy in Monrovia. If you need visa for United Kingdom, you got to go to Ghana. If you diplomat, they will send you to Sierra Leone. But there is a British embassy right in Monrovia. If you need Dutch visa, they send you to Accra or they send you to Abidjan. So all of these African countries have been going similar through the same nonsense that you have to travel. You spend $600 on plane ticket. You got to pay hotel bill. You spend maybe another $200 or $300. Then they will set an appointment date to deny you or to grant you the visa. So the African leaders now say, no, this nonsense is too much. We don't need you. We want to go there because of economic situation. Our people run to you for survival. But the thing that you want, we hold it. So you keep coming. So now, Niger decided to do something dramatic. So let me play the video and then we'll have a discussion.
Is about the tit-for-tat visa battles. As Western nations tighten visa rules, African nations are striking back with reciprocal restrictions. And Niger is the latest to join the list. The junta-led Niger will now make getting a visa for the country harder for Europeans by restricting visa application centers. Why? Because it has become increasingly difficult for Nigerians to obtain visas for the Schengen free movement area. Until recently, Nigerians could get their Schengen visas from France's consulate in the capital of Niamey, but France has suspended the consular services after the junta came to power, so Niger's citizens are now forced to travel to neighboring countries to complete the Schengen visa process. Niger says it formally requested that the European embassies still present in Niamey be authorized to issue visas locally, but received no response. So Niger has taken action. From now, only specific Niger embassies will issue visas for nationals of certain European countries. Embassies of Niger in Geneva, Ankara and Moscow are the only ones authorized to issue entry visas for nationals of Italy, the Netherlands, Germany, Belgium and the United Kingdom. Now, these visa difficulties for Nigerians emerged after relations with France collapsed following the 2023 coup. Since then, the military government has strengthened ties with Russia, Turkey, Iran and China and expelled French troops as well as the French ambassador. Now, since France had already suspended consular services in Niamey, it was not included in this round of restrictions. The target is other European countries that still have embassies in Niger but refuse to issue Schengen visas locally. And Niger is not alone. In June this year, Chad suspended visa issuance to U.S. citizens. It was a direct response to the U.S. travel ban on Chadians. In April, Namibia moved to require visas for nationals of non-reciprocating countries, including the US, the UK, Canada and Germany. And last year, Senegal floated a similar plan to introduce visas for nationals of countries that impose restrictions on Senegalese citizens. So while Western nations continue to tighten visa rules, African countries are no longer just accepting it. Governments are turning to reciprocity as a tool of diplomacy. It's a clear message. If Africans face hurdles abroad, Western travelers will face them too. And as more nations consider this path, the global visa wars may only just be getting started.
So Padole, this is the interesting thing. The African leaders now are becoming bold. Will my country, Liberia, do the same thing? Linfo, you watch the video. I want you to talk to me.
So like you made me laugh for your country, Liberia, who don't put restriction on. the people are happy when the people were happy when the president of a small country in Eastern European icon.
Slovenia.
No, that's Slovenia. One of the countries near Serbia, man. Went to Liberia and were happy and laugh. I said, "Is there a Guinea coming to you? Then you happy?" So maybe if Liberia will do similar thing, we will slap in a country with visa restriction. Maybe that Guinea or Ghana or Sierra Leone, but not to any Western country. I don't see that because let me tell you, Paul, they even they fighting hard to even go to Cyprus. Even the president of Cyprus go to Liberia today, the recession that president will receive will not be easy. So they are drowning there. Anybody that comes to them, well, they'll be happy. But let me tell you one thing: this is belated. And why do I say it's belated? We should have started this in long time. And I'm happy that African Christians, African people who believe in the way people think too much can see this. These are people who came to you, they told you, say, you'll be able to go to heaven if you read the Bible, you believe in one man. But these people, you know them, you cannot go to that country, they make it tough for you. So the heaven, they ain't get key for, they one can send you there. That one part, a different discussion. Let me get that one. African leaders have been so soft in the past. These people, they send the useless of the white men that one they can send to us in Africa. Most of the time, the useless of the one that cannot get jobs here, that cannot compete in the job market, they send it as expatriate. I'm not saying all, I'm saying some. Okay, I've seen it where they send the children that come from what we call high school in Scandinavia, which is like some college. They get drop us. I mean, they came from some college. They cannot go to university and they look for a job, but they don't, because in Scandinavia they will require you to have 2, 3, 4 years experience. So you get come from college, which they offer you AA degree. No college here. I'm not saying university. No college in Norway can offer degree. They give you associate degree. Okay, then you get it. You go look for a job. In the job market, they got somebody who got masters or 2 masters or bachelors, and that person got 4, 5 years experience. So you the associate degree holder, difficult for you, so that people can hustle their way on the relief organizations and they send them to Africa, and then we honor them. You even got master's degree holders working under them. Okay, we hosted my little brother here one time. He works for the forestry, so he was working with some Norwegian company. We hosted him at that time. And they were in Lofa doing some work. And most of the boys send that report, and we come from the environmental school here, one of them right here in Toronto, they can't compete in the job market. So they easily get what kind of job to go. So they send the worst of their people to us. But when you bring in our president, our ministers, they disrespect them. Okay, the moment they see that happening from Africa, they zero. When they get here, they zero. The people don't even want to look at them unless they're coming to a kind of particular program. So I think this action is good, but it's belated. I don't know what you guys think. That's just my thought.
All right.
Yeah. Welcome, Francis. Before Padore come in, how are you, sir?
Thank you, man. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah. So to just let you know, we'll just play this thing that's happening in Africa about the visa business. If you want visa to travel to the West, especially from Liberia, you want to come to the UK, they will send you to Ghana to go get visa. So all across Africa, this thing been happening. So the Africans now reciprocating the same thing that Niger came up with this thing a few days that UK, Belgium, they name them all the about 5 different countries. They will have to go all the way. They'll have to go to Russia or go to Switzerland from the embassy there to obtain the visa, just the same way they're treating them. So this is the topic. So Padore come in and then Francis can chime in.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. To be honest, we've got a long road to go. This is the starting point of the African independence. But the best way so far to graduate from this kind of situation that we're in, being inferior to the West, is to be able to make things on our own. Technologies, we need to evolve in technologies. You see, if you see the Chinese today, 30 years ago, China was no different from Africa. But you see, today they come second in the whole world in terms of everything. Military power, economic power, whatever power, they got everything to their convenience. So the best ways we the Africans need to really, really do is to involve in technology that we can able to face things for ourselves. Before the Westerner went to Africa, we need to face our own things. See, they blaspheme people here. Because these are the people that used to face our gun, face our money. Then we have certain African clothes maker. They used to face the clothes for us. But when the white people arrived, then we abandoned everything that we were doing and focus on the foreign something. Then, at the end of the day, what we were doing, we couldn't develop it. Where we're going to, and the people stick to their technologies and things there. They don't show us actual knowledge that we need to have to graduate from agile poverty. So obviously, the African need to sit down and think wisely and be very, very radical to see how best we can graduate from this kind of mess. Otherwise, I see no way forward. To be honest,
no way forward. Great. So Francis, Padore said we're making clothes before we have blacksmith, but then we accepted the white man religion that the Bible that tell us today to do something European. So if we believe in a European style now, then what is left with us? Nothing. So what you say about it? There's retaliation that is taking place among the African countries regards to this visa issue.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. First, I want to say thanks to you guys for holding the fort while I was away for about 3 weeks now. Yeah. Yeah. So
they may look at new money from the bank.
yeah, it is good to be back. Look, Papa Dolly said it partially he right, and in diplomacy they have what they call the law of reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
You do me, I do you.
Do you?
So it have come. It's about time now that African countries learn to treat our so-called Western partners the way they treat us. Uh, I will tell a short story, regarding the visa situation. The July 26th celebration we had in Belgium, um, we sent invitations to several personalities in Liberia, some guys working in the government, stuff like that. And they sent them to Abidjan. When they got to Abidjan, there was no conversation.
Oh,
The
wow.
people there did not they paid the visa fees and they took their money. And the people they didn't tell them when they should come back and they asked any question. They just shook the head, turned around and spoke French and left.
Oh, wow.
So it was about 10 questions or so or more. These people did not get response until last week.
Hmm.
Imagine.
And they took their money.
People paid their way to Abidjan, stay hotel. Some of them went there in April, went to the embassy, left the papers, the documents, the passport there. They didn't get it. They didn't get it until last week. So look, we have what the people want. We have the resources. They come to us. That is our trump card. Instead of our people bending over for the people to exploit us and take our resources, Africa now has to follow the footsteps of these guys in Burkina Faso, Niger, even the South African president, because he's standing up to these guys.
Yeah.
So, you do me, I'll do you. Ghana did the same thing to them. It's not only Ghana, they fought in Ghana's step. Ghana did it to them. Ghana told the same people. Ghana called the American ambassador, called the British ambassador. Look, it's been disrespectful for our people to go stay in line all day waiting for you to stay there yes or no, or mostly no. And when it's unacceptable, so Ghana did it then. So I mean, Africa is it's time now for us to stand up and do exactly what they do to us.
And Francis said it right. There is this doctrine of reciprocity in diplomacy. Because, Paul, you can invite me to come to your house. You tidy up the place, everything is good. I come to your house. Then when I invite you, you got to find your own mat to sit on the living chair. So you got to reciprocate. And that's how you treat each other. But like I said, this move is 100% good for me. I back it in my sleep. When I'm awake, when I'm away, when I'm present, I back it 100%. But my only problem is belated. And if all African countries, okay, the 54 countries who got me Africa, at least, even if 30 of them, 30 of them can uphold this thing. No, let me tell you, these guys, our partners here, they'll begin to adapt different behavior towards us. I'll tell you something. I'm kind of like on the social media. I'm not member of this group, but these things pop up. I've been in a discussion with these people, and you hear some of the terrible things that people think of us, my brother. You will even be afraid to live here. These people you see walking, when you're passing each other, the way some of them think about you, some of the things that they write, some of the things they say, they promise to do to you. We the black people, you'll be afraid because you don't know who is who. I listened to the few ones that show you the weighty, and I listened to Muhammad Ali. He had an interview long time ago, I think in the 70s, where this guy asking about whether he believes that all the white people are bad. I said, no, listen, you put me in a room, then you open a door and you release. I'm just trying to paraphrase it. You release 10,000 venomous snakes that are very dangerous. They can one point can kill you. You release 10,000 of them, and they come into me in that room, And then in that 10,000, maybe you got only let's make it maximum 1,000. Among the 10,000, you got 1,000 that are good, that do not intend to buy me. Okay, you think I will risk myself to open that door and welcome them in with 9,000 dangerous snake and with only 10,000 that will be good to me? What guarantee do I have that the 10,000 can defend me if the 9,000 decide to attack me? So it's the people. You see, few of them, they are very good. I can't generalize, but majority of them, or 90% of them, they actually against Africans being in their country. From what I read, from the kind of argument we have, what they think about you, but because their laws do not allow them to do what they want to do to you. So if we Africans can do the same thing that they do to us, that if you can have one woman sitting in one embassy waiting for you for the whole day, you tell you, okay, go and come back, we're closing now, go and come back tomorrow. No, we don't have anything much to lose. The few African, the young boys and girls that are coming to Africa, probably because when they get got up, they get growing up, they thinking big, they think that Europe or America is the biggest place they can ever live. You can't blame them because from what they see, okay, the same way the women get a perception. Everything here we're talking about is perception, perception last. Perception.
Right. So
you to misinterpret. And taking our point, if we can be strong enough against these people and do the same thing they do, or they will get to know that we get sense. Because they've been thinking all the time that we're so desperate to come to Europe and they can send anybody to us, but even if you bring our president, they'll deny them. No. If 30 African countries can adapt this, I will be the happiest man on earth, at least in my lifetime.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lingo. You see, any problem, there's a solution. When you identify the problem, the next thing that you do is to find solution. The best solution, from my view, that the African need to do, more especially ours, reading establishments in our countries, they need to do a good governing system. You see, before then, the particular country where I am in, which is England used to go to Ghana and go to Nigeria to credit. There's evidence to that effect. Credit money from them after World War II, because they were struggling to survive financially. And those countries was socially and economically was stable. They have Nkrumah of Ghana at that time who have good thinking about the country. And they have another military man who was leader at the time they called Yakubu Gowon. I think he's still living, but he's very old now. So he was there. And the people were living peacefully. Like what in Liberia, whereby, but we have been very purposeful to ours, our colonial master, which is America, from time of Mura. Because even the book of consortium agreement that we've been signing with them since Stockman time, Lanco, we signed a consortium agreement with Lanco. What Lanco developed in our country? Nothing. Just take the iron away and go and do whatever you want to do. We not got no benefit from all these things there. So we are being purpose. But many of the African countries, when their economy was stable and things then, you could not even see the children then jumping over the sea to say they're going to Europe or America. No. But because of the bad governing system in Africa, there's no job, there's no peace, everything is disintegrated. So at the end of the day, what happened? The innocent citizens are suffering. So we need to put our government and feet on fire to do the right thing, to start messing about with the people, little finance they had to maintain the country.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying this thing here. Good governance system need to come.
Yeah, I think Paul will come, but let me give me some small point according to what Padoli say. Like I said, this thing is all about perception. People we got to educate people. In Africa, people believe that the moment you come to Europe, everything is automatic. I mean, I want to compare Belgium, maybe or Holland, with the Scandinavia. Because what I saw in Belgium, I've been to Belgium 2 times now. Last May and this July. What I see there, especially among African people of black color, I don't know whether they come from Africa or where they come from, is horrifying to me compared to the Scandinavia here. In a park, I saw the young boys who are just useless. I mean, I'm sorry to say that word. Who I know that doing anything, nobody got to tell me. Okay, so these are people who believe that coming from Africa to come to Europe is. No, I saw this papi, one Liberian papi, who said he went to cathedral. That he knew who was talking about. What about somebody man from cathedral man? Then he said, "Oh, but I'm picking." Swahili Andrew from Norway. He said, "But Swahili I'm picking for." Before when he thought that I got to know that Liberian, I said, "Oh, you Liberian?" He said, "Yeah." I almost asked him, "Why are you looking so?" This man looking terrible. So this is somebody who had a perception from Africa that when it comes to Europe, you'll be. So this thing about our African people, our African leaders should do better. No, if our African leaders do better, they pave the streets with gold. Sir, I'm not saying they are doing well, but if they pave the streets with gold, people still get a perception that Europe and America is they are the best place to live. Some people selling their whole house in Africa, walking the desert to come to Europe. When they get here, they ain't a place to sleep. Whereby they have house in Africa to sleep. So it's all about perception. Okay? Me, it's good that I travel. They play what my whole life when I came to Europe and I went to America. They play what my whole life changed. And I got different perception about the world. Is when I went to America the first time in 2003, December 13. Okay? Then Paul, I think around December 15.
So Linfo.
I see somebody saying that they really begging you for money. I say, I'll finish. I'll finish with the
so Linfo, the perception you're talking about. The thing is ourselves that promote these things.
Yeah,
I give an example. So December, go to Liberia. When our brothers come from America, come from Europe, Australia, the way they behave make the other people say, I want to go over there. But if they were seeing negative things about the place they come from, people say, but what the hell why would I want to go over there? So I mean, this topic here, let's see, Money, welcome, man. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for following us. The situation here, with a bold step that Niger is now joining other African countries to take. Since we are transitioning to Liberia, my question is, will Liberia be that bold enough to do similar thing? Because if you want visa to come to the UK from Liberia, you're not going to 17, where 45 minutes drive. They're sending you to Accra. You know how much it costs to go to Accra by flight? Nearly $600. They ain't got to get hotel. They will set a date. Like what Francie explained, those people went to Abidjan for visa to come to the July 26 program. They just got the yes or no now.
They give August 24.
Yeah. So can Liberia do the same thing? Say enough is enough. And the UK people want our diamond, our gold. You know, King George, the British company not there. They fly they go every day from King George to Freetown, that British company. So these people too, if they want visa, they must go to Belgium from Britain. Yeah, do the same thing. So what say you guys before we transition? Francis?
Look, Paul, all the things you guys saying, it makes sense. For taking the radical stance against, the Europeans and Americans, but unfortunately, our leaders are easily sold out to these people. I mean, for little or nothing, for $1,000, $500, $1,000, they sell out. People giving Liberians who supposed to be representing our country in the various countries, like the position of honorary consul general. I think we gave them to Liberians living in diaspora, but they give it out to people. They give it out to people for little or nothing. So it speaks volume to see how our people, how our leaders sell out to these people for nothing. We will say everything we want to say today. They will come up with we got all the Google policies, got all the laws on the books. But hey, the people that you talk about King George, you talk about other people. People living the Indian people in what you call it? In Yekepa making 10 times more than what our people are making for a similar job. I mean, so it's never our people. We need a reawakening. We need a new movement. No, that's it, bro. I think we can move on because we shouldn't stop though. I mean, we should keep sending the message that them, so I mean, it will serve as a means of them changing. Otherwise, we don't go nowhere. Africa will mean the same, Liberia will mean the same. Yeah.
And Paul, you ask whether Liberia can do the same thing again. I would say no, not in our time. And now with the kind of leadership that we get, and now with the economic situation that we are in now, so now we can blame the leaders all we want, but so now the economic situation dictates what happens to us. Here is we're struggling. We made our budget. The budget we made, we depend on international community for 75% of that budget. Okay, now then you think you got few white guys who want to come to Liberia to bring few dollars. You think you can stand in front of them and say no? Go to people. Okay, we're not coming. So the leaders got to be strong, and the people we got to be resilient. We the citizens got to be resilient and say, no, listen, we got to maneuver us, irrespective of the fact that we are not directly benefiting from this thing, but we got it. So people who are coming for it, we should streamline them. We should make sure that they go through similar thing that we go through. And I said it. The people here, they are our friends. The guys, they don't stand tension like us. They don't stand tension like the moment you start putting tension on them, they'll become soft. In some areas. Okay?
Gentlemen, let me bring something to you guys and attention here. You see, that's why I said a few minutes ago, every problem there's a solution. If you identify your problem, then you will be able to find solution to it. Many of all the speakers right now on this talk show know my belief that all already identified the problem we have. But the solution, we need to find it up and spread it up to our other brothers and sisters. Let all be aware of this problem and find solution to it collectively. You see, as I said, our neighboring country like Ghana went down to nothing. You could stand on a queue to buy a load of bread, sugar, the Ghanaians. But when God bless them with good leaders who have the country at heart, He straightens the entire economic system in that country. Jerry recently, he's the one that put Ghana back on the international map. That everybody running to Ghana now for medical attention, for this attention, and here and there and rest of it. You understand what I'm saying? Let's pray for a good leader to take over. Not somebody who will say, law is the law when he does not or even respect the law that you're talking about. Law is the law. You understand what I'm saying? So let's try to look for someone. Let's try to stick around to see if somebody who will say, I respect the rule of law, and you should go by it, but not to only say it. Looking for a strong, energetic leader. So if we don't have it, forget it. You see, Cameroon is a very good country, but because of the weak old men are there, he's been there for almost 40 so many years. How Cameroon looking now? looking fiasco. So basically, we need good leader, gentlemen. Good leader that will have.
You know, I agree with you, Padole. We need good leader.
That's a solution. That's the only solution.
So something Linford said about the country budget, what the finance minister came up with 75 or 70% of it from foreign aid. But then what happened lately, the USAID decided to cut all budget. So that tell you common sense that, so the money we're getting from it, they will not get it anymore. Let's get back to the soil and see how can we generate money. Because you see, when you start generating your own money, then you can take the kind of bold step. But if you're not generating your own money, then you become back. And Francis said it, the counseling around here, that Europeans are counselor for Liberia. Could you imagine? And they have Liberians in the area. So what does that tell you? So until we get that straight, look, Burkina Faso young man came and said, look, let's do tomato. They built a tomato factory. Today, every citizen gets 10% of share. So it's owned by the citizen. So if your neighbor is doing it, why you can't do the same thing? And then if you generating money, you bold enough to say, hell no, UK, we're not going to Ghana for visa. If that's the case, if you want to come to Liberia, go to Belgium or go to Germany, where we have our embassy. Let them spend money, let them spend hotel, give them the same 3 weeks that will take you to say, well, they gave them the time. So go through the same process. And when that happens, the nonsense will stop.
That's what I said, Paul. You coming to me. We got to look at the devil right in the face and tell them the fact. Because the devil will say catch you anyway. So tell them the fact, let them know. These people, the first thing, the leadership that Padol is talking about, okay, let's say we got a good leader. But is this leader willing to appoint Liberians as consulate generals in those real countries when Liberia get consulate and embassy? The first step, how many times you see the American appoint one as their consulate in Liberia? How many times? All the other countries, the British, how many times do you see that? We are the only people. There is a Norwegian old man who was a seaman. I don't know how he got in contact with Liberia and with Todman. Todman made him consulate general. That old man living here. He's a lawyer. He living right. He get law firm right in Oslo here. From 1950 something.
Wow.
That old man. So he been the consulate general for Liberia in Norway. We didn't know until 2005. They seen Liberia organization when we organized it. In a town that is just 30 minutes away from Oslo. He heard about it. He said, "Oh, so plenty Liberian where he came there." The old man introduced himself. Everybody was surprised that we get consulate general when we came was struggling. But he's been helpful to us. He has helped us to even meet the parliament members. And but this old man, imagine, after Todman, or trouble, after trouble, after the walking, Taylor, all the government, until I think that Ellen he met when President Ellen Johnson came here in October 2007. He was with us. He met him. And Ellen said, "Well, I think I was your guy when they appointed you." He said, "Yeah, it might be so." So can you imagine? And probably, I don't know whether it gets some immunities, and they will make it. What kind of Liberian pathway get? Nobody know for those years. So people who live in the various countries, for instance, they're in Sweden. For instance, know the Swedish government. They know it up and down the whole system well. I live here. I know this. In fact, I'm in the politics here. Okay. So if you appoint people who live in those countries with the people, they know. Because I'm not, they know, yeah, man, and myself, we're not going to sit down we're talking, and I know that policy, and I'm promoting the interest of my country. You will not pay me money. Of course, they will not do it. You will not bribe me. So the first of all, got to strengthen our foreign mission with our own people, committed people. Now one sell out, now one Yakwawe grab from Bungonima and say he never see money before. The people can bribe him small thing. Okay, no, somebody who will be able to tell them because they know. When I'm talking to Norwegian, I look at his straight, I look at his face, and you know the honesty. Okay, because we can check on each other. I'm not lying to you, and you're not lying to me. Okay, this is what we're talking about. But with the foreign mission, we get a week. Our foreign missions weak. Almost some of them non-existent. I heard people been selling Liberian embassies around the world. Can you imagine? I mean, no, this is disgusting. But until we can get to that point, but always talk about solution. We'll get it. We know the problem already. The solution is that we do not have it. We do not have the solution. We don't know what to do. Strengthen your foreign embassy. This got to do with diplomacy. Strengthen your foreign embassy. No, let me tell you, there is one ambassador that has won my admiration around the world, and I hope we can have one or two of those people. Lazarov, this guy from Russia. Oh man, that's the best diplomat I've seen in my lifetime. Sergei Lazarov. I mean, the guy is composed. Even when the guy is meeting Trump, the way the guy walks, it shows you that I'm not afraid. You can't frighten me. You know, I mean, here you go. This is what we're talking about. Not one Gbarpolu that will see. Look at your country. You talk about Liberia should ban people. I mean, should take similar strong restriction. They just came from making trips. They came around. They came where they went for. Where did they go back to come? A country like that we tell any country, don't come to my country. You gotta go there. They put some not coming. We are weak. We haven't reached that point yet.
We have not reached that point, but one day we'll get there. So let's transition. I mean, this is the story in Liberia that is still the drugs issue. Before the drugs issue, guys, I want to post something on here. Same transition on to drugs. I mean, Liberia is a very interesting country. I love my country so dearly. So this is a song that is circulating on the social media. I just want to listen to this.
I love 2G beats. La Bira wanna let day. La Bira wanna let day. Oh, La Bira wanna let day. La Bira wanna let day. Drugs everywhere, ghetto everywhere. Our children are the victim, but then we hating them. We calling them so go because they're stealing. They're doing all kinds of things to keep up with that habit. La Bira wanna let day. Oh, when I was growing, we used to play. We used to play lapa. We used to do hide and seek. We were not taking the push, taking the drugs. We the BB people then are supposed to be protecting the children. Try to drink BB cup of juice and have BB bottle of beer. We bringing drugs in the country. Whether are the foreigner or the ourselves, we supporting our children. Why are we exposing them? Hey, we kidding the children. La Bira wanna let day. Let it La Bira wanna let day. So we can in peace, Mr. President. La Bira wanna let day. La Bira wanna let day. Oh, La Bira.
Paul, don't catch it.
Liberia was not like this. They killing the children with drugs. So we transition onto the issue. Liberia was not like this with the drugs issue. Gentlemen, this is the story. This is the second replacement. The LDEA. Something about the LDEA, I think I need to go home and join this group. Something about this place here that when they make you big man, for somehow you will fight for no reason, and then the president dismiss you, and then they start looking for people. And Amara Konneh is saying here, the president not vetting the right people. This is the situation we face. Thanks to the video that was circulating with the operational director and his subordinate that his daughter got caught in the drugs business, what happened? He was dismissed, so they're looking for new people. Gentlemen, this is the story. We get two police officers here. It's good that the former two police people will be able to tell us what the hell is happening with the LDEA. Although they no longer honor the police for the department on its own. But yeah, guys, you gave for inside story. What's going on? Is the president getting the wrong people, or do he need to look elsewhere internationally, find Liberians who are capable of running this place, or get some citizen, somebody from the justice ministry, not justice ministry, or lawyer, or somebody that have better knowledge of the area? It doesn't necessarily have to be a police fire person. Guys, y'all talk to me.
Look, let me just jump in quickly, Paul. Look, all the people they appointed, they are not short of qualification. What is happening at the DEA is low salary, low morale, lack of incentives. You cannot fight drugs without any incentives. And I learned the other day that I think all of the workforce, I think 25 or 30% of the people are volunteers. So tell me now, you can't even take pay first. The people working regular, you can't take pay, they are volunteers.
And you draw officer, then you
Yeah,
volunteer. Oh
you
my God.
volunteer. I mean, it speaks for itself, man. These guys will go and do their best. I mean, they're competent. They may not compromise anything, but hey, your lower man, the poor, no. So you need to have structure in place. Even if people are found guilty, I mean, they will log in drug enforcement agency people when they are found in the act of double dipping, set confiscating drug and it's not just only firing them. If you work at institution, you should have laws that people be culpable and go to jail. We try. So these are kind of stringent measures you have to have in place with the kind of agency that you run. You can't leave it at a laissez-faire operation whereby do their own thing, you run here and there. Although they have laws in the book, but look, there should be specific order with these people. If you work with DEA, you fall in any act of drugs. And besides that, the law is so weak. I mean, in terms of our government official, everybody's giving order. I'm my interest, lead them. You change everybody every day. Once our people, ourselves, the leaders, the politician, the government official, they themselves not committed. They're mobbed up. These guys will be replaced tomorrow, and all people can be replaced tomorrow. Because there's a whole syndicate. I mean, so we are talking. We want to talk. The border is porous. We have no mechanism to detect people. I can put within the arm. I heard Senator talking about thing on the airport. So la, it's just over politics. Some country airport, but you can't through the border. Oh, Kino. I work with the police. We used to go on the sea. People arrest people. We
Yep.
we take the drop on the sea and the Kino. We get tipped off. You go there, you come by, you turn your back. It goes back in the market again. You see heads. So that's it, man. I'm gonna put a chance to talk.
And friends say you're right, because if you're coming from Ghana to Liberia, you got to pass through immigration in Ghana. You got to pass through custom. You pass through security in Ghana before you get to Liberia. So the time you take to take drug, you be caught right in Ghana. So because we have an open border that people, because I remember in Buchanan, my brother worked with the immigration. He's the chief investigator of immigration in Buchanan. In the night, around about 2 a.m. in the morning, they'll go on the beach to collect kinos that are coming from other places. And so you right, friends, say we don't have Coast Guard to say that the patrol so much the area, and then also all of these little borders area when it come, because our people are so corrupt. Anybody can walk in with suitcase. This is the point. I mean, so if the bordering area is really, so the money need to be spent on security, especially the bordering side, land, sea. The airport home, we can say, all right, if you're coming from the other countries too, then we'll have like sniffing dogs or something, but people have to spend money. It have to be money. So, Padore, what you say? I mean, you say every problem there is solution. This is
Yeah.
the situation we face with in Liberia now.
First of all, the root cause of this floatings of the narcotics in our countries is based on lawlessness. The country is right now not secure. The Before the war, the sensitive equipment we have today, we were not having it. But situation will not lose like this because there was a rule there was a law. The government were having full control over the citizens. You see, something that brought all this nonsense thing that happening in our country is the civil war that came in our country. It caused serious damage for Liberia. Many of our children right now, you see them adopted to this drug and things then. 90% were born during the war. 90%. They didn't see normal life. 90% of them did not see normal life. So to get such a thing under control, it requires serious planning. I will say this: the best way any government can do. I'm not criticizing unity parties in this case. I'm not also criticizing CDC in this case. I also not criticizing Unity Party early administration in this case. I am criticizing the root cause. How? What bring us to this is the civil war that came in that make the father not having no control over their own children that led us to this thing. So in order to control it, is this way. All those that can be identified as a drug addict want to go for rehabilitation. But before they finish with this, the rehabilitation course or whatever procedure, there should be something to occupy. Then something must be there to occupy them. Everybody cannot get a Rubicon job to say you have to get millions of dollars in your pocket. No. But something that if you get to work on, to get it and put it in your pocket to be able to put food on the table will occupy your mind. So government need to have that planning. That's one of the best solutions that the government can do to control this thing. Concern about the security at the border. I worked at the port before. I was the director at the port. From Samuel Kanyado administration, we only have few Coast Guard boat, not even more than 3. The whole country, Coast Guard boat. And you know what they were chasing? The fishing vessel. That's what they were going after those days. Because of insufficiency of our equipment, anybody can take advantage to bring anything in the country through the sea. Most of the drug and things then is not passing through the airport. No. Our bureau are vulnerable areas. Liberia have you see, Vahun, I was in Vahun for so many years. Right to Vahun, they got opium farm. Like the way we can grow rice. Vahun. Adjacent to Kujahun. Kujahun is in Sierra Leone. Vahun is in Liberia. Opium farm, like the way we can grow rice, like how people grow opium in that Vahun region there. That the Mende there in Liberia, Vahun. From Vahun, you come to Kulahun area there, Masambolahun, Bolahun, Kamatahun, all this Hun there. We got opium farm up to present. Government will not be able to control opium from there. So, but the point of the matter is the one that really causing serious problem for our country is that the high class drug that coming from far east, like Colombians and some other international countries. But how they coming in? They coming through the sea, the boat.
Right.
Your brother being a chief investigator for immigration. Do you even got pillar boat to control anything? Do you not go to stand to the seaport in Buchanan when anybody come with Kino? You say, I mean, what you got in the Kino there? Come here. That's all.
So Padole,
It's a
you
very
spot,
serious matter.
yeah, you spot on. And so this is a situation now. I mean, you said it, Francis said it. Maybe Linfa will chime in onto this one here. The whole thing now, we depending on foreign aid for our budget to grow. And this is a situation now. We need money for LDEA to start with. We need money for bordering. So where we going to get this money from? And
Let
how
me
do
tell
we
you,
stop this? How do we stop these drugs from coming
yeah,
in?
let me tell you where we can get the money from. If you can allow me. We got money.
That's
We
the
got money.
discussion because money is the key here, and we
Yeah,
depend on
listen,
foreign
money
aid.
is the king. Money is the king. You understand? Let me tell you something. Like bro got money. But we do so many wasteful spending. That is the flamboyant life. That's a bigger problem. That's one of the
That means Padori, you just killed it. Wasteful spending. Are they
wasteful
going to stop?
spending.
Are they going to stop the wasteful spending?
Yeah, it's supposed somebody's book up people in jail.
How? Because the people who spend it, they that said they're not going to. So this is so. Let me bring Linford on the one here.
We got. That's why I say we have a long road to go.
So Linford,
They did not start from Unity Party. Government. It not start from CDC government.
you said it. You said that's the root cause. We agree. So the thing is, you said it. For every problem, there must be a solution. Linford, you heard friends say you heard Padole. Money. People work within LDEA. Some of them volunteer. And you know, if you volunteer, you're not getting paid. Your child, go to school, and then there's a drug cartel that bother with you, that give you big money. You will accept it.
Yeah, Paul, I beg you, please give me an inch. Let me bring something to you guys' attention before Linford come in. Like what you just said. We work in the government. We not getting paid. You know, a similar thing like that happening during a transitional period when Gloria Scar was a justice minister. When Chatila sent her to Ministry of Justice, she was Justice Minister. I was a member of the Joint Security team representing Freeport Security Department to the meeting with the Justice Minister because he was a chairman of the Joint Security. She said that a lot of nonsense things happening. More especially, she was hitting at the immigration. He said the immigration are rushing, the citizens are coming, and the country just come from war, and the molesting people and this and that, and rest of it, they taking, extracting money from people and this and that. I put my finger up. I said, Madam Minister, can I say something? She says, yeah, go ahead, darling. I told her, I say, how much you paying this? You say, I'm paying them 250. 250 what? Labron dollar. What the 250 Labron dollar will do for a man who have, let me just say, men who have 3 children. You got a horse, you have to pay the rent. And you're not even providing him for transportation to come to work every day. You may have to pay your own way. What the 250 Labron dollar will do for him? You say, dollar, you insulting the people, I will read the council about you. I say, go ahead. But this is the reality. If somebody don't have the incentive, how will he perform perfectly? It's not possible.
So Padole, can I ask you one question?
Are vulnerable.
Can I ask one question, Padole?
Yeah, go on.
When you worked in the government, did you earn as police force and put security director and all the position you held? Did you earn big money that prevented you from doing from doing corruption?
Listen to me.
No, I just asked him.
No.
What you trying to say? You see, no, this is where I'll come in.
I will give you one reason. Listen to me.
There is something called patriotism. No, you have your time. I sat there for more than 10 minutes or so. There is something called patriotism, because what you're trying to say, you're trying to justify something. And let me say this. There is something called patriotism. You got to be patriotic to your country. You got to be that person who loves your country. Now, so what he's trying to say is that, okay, the people coming to work, how much money you pay them $200, and this man gets children. So what about the man who is not working at all? So should this man go around get his city all over the place? No, at least this guy get job. And that's why he signed up for. He signed up for the $200 job. Yeah. He knows that he can make him to live. That's why he signed up for it. If he doesn't want it, he can leave it. If he doesn't have job and go steal, that's a different issue. But he has job. So if he is stealing on the job, he is doing something unscrupulous. So then what happens to the guy that does not have job at all?
Limpo.
So you don't justify that.
Yeah.
People listen to look at that.
Listen to me carefully. You see, the element that constitutes the crime need to be local perfectly. You see, the problem of this thing here, those that responsible for the security of our nation, they deserve certain incentive to be able to be loyalists to their nation. You see, Ivory Coast will introduce a system. I brought that into the joint security meeting. I say in Ivory Coast, certain security sector, they got 3 different incentive. Number 1, their children then don't pay school fee. 1. Number 2, each of the law enforcement officer, like the gendarme, the police, the army, they got barrier for them. They don't pay rent. Absolutely. That was number 2. Number 3, if they issue them a specific card. When you go to any supermarket, if you're supposed to pay $10 for something, they will allow you to pay.
All of what you need.
Just a minute.
You employ something to reduce. All of what you say is to justify.
Yeah, listen.
All of what you say.
Yeah, listen to me, Lamford. Let me learn. Then you can
platform here. The platform here is an educational platform, because what you say, people listen to it and we want to practice it.
Yeah, listen to me. Yeah, but I am telling you, we need to make sure what is the root cause of issue need to be addressed. When you address the root cause, then you will be able to find solution to it. But if you don't address the root cause, then you say you want to find solution, it's not possible.
So, you already say root cause. So let them find a solution. This is where
the people don't have an incentive to sustain themselves.
Okay.
So obviously, government need to look into this thing then. So let's be realistic.
And
government need to look into this thing then.
Can I come in now?
Yeah.
So Linford coming. Linford, this is a situation I really want to chime in on this one here.
Very good.
Friends identify it that DEA officers, some of them volunteer to be part of the group. The bordering area is, let's put the airport one side because the airport be a little bit secure. We get a sea, we get a land. People can cross from Ivory Coast from Tabu to Maryland. People can cross from Butuo, all those places around. You can come from Freetown, from Sierra Leone into Liberia, to Lofa, think on it, to Cape Man. All of those spots. This is where we know drugs coming into the country. But what is the solution to stop the key drugs? If we're not spending the money on people, how this going to work? Is it going to continue because it all boils down to finance money?
Good.
I want to. I want Linford to talk. You had a turn. To this Rumble, Jade, Tommy, thank you for joining us from Duporo. Is that Duporo or GSA Junction? Duporo, okay. Linford,
Yeah,
talk to me.
just before I go, let me recognize a few of our people: Jefferson Carter, Garmin P. Patrick's, Daniel C. Bona Jr., and James Gonga. Also, Peter Tama, and then including Rambo J. Tony.
Tony,
I want to say thank you for joining us. And our own man Monique, he said, "My man Monique, you gotta come on the show one day. You gotta just let us know. We'll send you the link. You come." But let me say welcome to all of you. This is the Bottom Line Liberia discussions. Here we agree, we disagree, and we give our own perception or ideas about the whole issues. Um, you know, I understand what Padoli is trying to say, but it's like trying to justify what people do, the reason why people do these things. Let me tell you, there is something I don't know. Liberia is just a different kind of country. Somebody say, "Oh, at least I'm working, but I can't get money. The government not giving all housing. You working? There are people who are not working. So those people that are not working, they should go all around breaking people's houses, stealing.
Yeah, you don't have that.
You by working, and you getting something. Even though what you're getting is not much, but that's why you sign up for. If you know that money not sufficient, it can sustain you. Leave the job. Now they fight against drugs. Francis put it rightly. I don't think drugs may come through the border, but it's not very easy because the plane that coming to Liberia is not coming. It's not taking off from Liberia coming to Liberia. It's taking off from another country coming to Liberia. So I don't think people got enough interest to say let's send a drug to Liberia so you can pass free with your drug and carry to Liberia, unless it's of this syndicate that they pay the people at our airport. That's a different discussion. So most of the drugs come through. We got Liberia, got a very porous. We got almost more than, if I'm not mistaken, about 200 to 300 or 400 kilometers of land border. Nobody, even the greatest America, cannot man land border. That's why they got problem with Mexico. That's why I'm trying even thought about, because I come from Houston, right? I live in Houston. There are guys that are living in Mexico. They come to Houston to work every day across the border. You cannot control it. You building bridge, they got them to come. We're on the other side of that land. They know the area well. The people living on the border, they know every corner. They get small kino, they can swim, they can do all kind of things. So there is no way you can deploy people along that border. So the drug pandemic is difficult. And it has to take what we call nationalistic and holistic approach. So if I am volunteering as a DEA officer, the word volunteering means I'm doing it by my own will. So I know I'm broke, I'm not working, but I want to help my country. So that does not give me the chance to say I'm going to allow the drug to come in so I can get money. So does that show any volunteering on my part? No. Okay, I'm working, I'm employed at the DEA, but I'm not getting enough money. So I'll take money from drug dealer to come in. So does that, because I'm not getting enough money, does that give me the right to take money from the people and let them come in? No, I'm not being patriotic to my country. So the honesty, the major tool to fight this drug pandemic is honesty. Go anywhere, count me for that. It's honesty.
Yeah.
People can bring, you be lucky, you bring. Let me tell you what the Eastern European guys used to do. They will polish people and all the other Lithuania, they get a truck, this small, car, the small truck, pickup truck. They buy something, they buy flour, they can open it and fold it out, all kind of thing and bring it. When the Norwegian police nab them down, once you nab them, you can have trillion kroner to get them. Zero. You will be arrested. Right there, you will be arrested. That's what we call nationalism. That's what we call patriotism. Love your country. But you alone for your interest. So then, why arrest a drug dealer? Because if you the DEA officer is saying
so Linford,
yeah.
So Linford, you have a situation in Liberia. So the person who will volunteer, that means they'll be doing it because of love of a country. That's why they volunteer.
Yeah, that's right.
You have the people that have been paid, and these people too that have been paid, we know what happened in recent time. That over $150 million worth of drug came into the country. What happened? The people were arrested, sent to jail. They went to court. They were let free. So that means the big hand that behind it got those people out. So today,
and not for nothing, money play power there. Yeah,
exactly. So
so the point I'm making, is not to say because the people making small money, to try to justify. Pardon, will you give me a chance? You have your time and listen to you.
Yeah,
And
go on. When you finish,
from all indication, the excuses that you're trying to give is to justify the reason that it's right for people to do it because they're not getting enough money. No, it should not be that way. Whether you're getting paid 0 cents, you are volunteer to do that job. So do not take money from anybody. That's what I'm saying. Honesty is the key. No, President Boaka can change all the people, including me, including you, yeah, and put you there. If we are not honest, my friend, that war on drugs will not succeed. It's honesty. And I'm judging from what I have seen in other countries, especially in Norway here. If they catch you, my friend, the law is the law. You will not bribe the people and say, oh, then they say, okay, come back, I'm making money today. No fuel my car, so I got to put fuel my car. Can't give me something. No, you see. So, two things happening. Number one, the people who are being employed to do this job, they are not properly vetted. We don't know their background. You don't know whether they made that old role before. And I understand that they have given this task now to all the I think several security agencies, NSA, the drug enforcement itself, I call it the police. And who are you carrying there? The same policemen who can stand on the road and take. You see the man riding motorcycle. I'm sitting on the guy motorcycle. I'm going to pay him $10 Liberian dollar. They put him in arrest and tell him to pay him $200 Liberian dollar. The money that he had not paid already. Then the same man you take him to go send to DEA. You think what difference it will make there? It will be the same.
Can you wrap it up? I beg you, please. Can you wrap it up so some of us can at least come over something?
No, but Padre, I want friends to come in here before you talk, before you come.
So the point I'm making is honesty. That's a major tool. Honesty, the money power will be there. We know nobody wants to work for money. Or for nothing. Everybody wants to work for money. But the guy who's working for this money, if the guy is not honest, say you pay the fee agent, you give him $5,000 US. Then this fee agent go and arrest a drug man worth 100 million. Then the drug man say, I got 100 million BTM, man. But right now I can give you 10 million out of 100 million. I'll say I have 90 million. This is a guy you paying 5,000 and you think you're doing your best. That's the best the government can pay him. Then somebody offering 10 million right on the spot. You think if the guy's not honest, you think he will refuse the 10 million and push it, and arrest the drug man? No. But if he's honest, he can say, no, hell with 10 million. For my country, you can't destroy my citizens. That's what I'm talking. So we shouldn't say because the people are not getting more money, so that's when they no. Once you volunteer to go, and you volunteer to be a soldier man, you can either die. So you are already giving all your life. So do that job. We're not saying because
right.
So that's it.
So Francis, I want you to come in here because this is quite interesting from Linford and Padoli. The thing is, the volunteer group, Linford said they should do it from their heart because they see danger, they want to go there and stop the nonsense. But you have people who also that on salary and also in line with the cartel. And the thing here, the root cause of everything is they gotta bring the drugs in, the big names that bring the drugs in, because if you bring the drugs in, you're not small potato, you might be having millions. Now, there's also a complete huge number of the youth, our population, is now taking drugs. In recent time, they've been arresting these people from community. We don't have big prison. We don't have, how they call it, a rehabilitation center where you carry these people. So you got that group to deal with. Then you have to find out the main cartel of these drug people that you can't get to. Where is Liberia into? Are we in a mess today? Would there be any solution to this crisis from those who taking it, and we can't get hold of the people who bringing the drugs in?
Look, for this, the social structure of our country, it will be very difficult to totally eliminate the drug crisis that's going on. The pandemic, I call it, is a drug pandemic that's going on. First and foremost, that look, we are labor in our country. Country with harsher punishment like Iran, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. People still drugs still manure to find drugs. Well, why? I mean, if you call the drug, they execute you. I mean, go to jail, for a lifetime. You go, and so the drug import of the drug, how we like to call them, drug laws, or who are the head of the cartels. They are known, my brother. Trust me, they are known. These guys, they know them, they interact with them, and still they can do fine. Let me just tell you a story, short story. I used to live on 11th Street, and there's a Nigerian guy. It was known that this guy was bringing drugs in the country. I told him around from 98 up to 2000 a day. It was known that guy was bringing drugs in the country. Top police officers were going to that guy to visit him, and the lady who there, who he was supplying, they were all friends with the police, the top police guys. So look, I will be honest with you. It's not going to stop anytime soon. They're going to be increased. They're going to be increased in the usage or probably in the market of a flow of drugs in the market, because our social structure is so weak. Our people are poor. The laws are there. It cannot be implemented. You cannot have anybody working for such an integrity, such a very meaningful institution that requires patriotism, that requires enforcement of the law on voluntary basis. Look, I work for the police. I can put my hand up. Things were hard, but I never harassed nobody. I never got bribed. If you are against the law, I make sure I put you against the law. You're arrested, you're going to be arrested or arrest you.
And that is what we call nationalism. That is called honesty. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I'm more for dragging. My friends would wear the uniform and go harass, but I said, no, it's not why. It's not why. It's not why I joined the police. It's not part of my modus operandi. It's not something that a scope of operation, not something that we do. So look, we need to have people with integrity in the position. They try, bro. Look, but I mean, you can't do more.
You can do more. Francis, you said it all. And this is quite interesting. I'll bring it in, Padole. The reason why this is quite interesting is that I want to bring in Padole on this one. It said now because we cannot stop this cartel for bringing the drugs in. It's about time that we do something for the people, to educate the people, or find jobs for the people. Because when people are unemployed, how they call it, peer pressure lead you to all kind of things. Is there the solution now to some of the problems? So before you say something, Padole, I just want to echo this music here. Just 1 minute, then you can come in.
I love 2G beats. La Bira wanna let day. La Bira wanna let day. Oh, La Bira wanna let day. La Bira wanna let day. Drugs everywhere, ghetto everywhere. Our children are the victims, but then we hating them. We calling them so go because they're stealing. They're doing all kinds of things to keep up with that habit. La Bira wanna let day. Oh, when I was growing, we used to play. We used to play lapa. We used to do hide and seek. We You are not taking the kush, taking the drugs. We the BB people then are supposed to be protecting the children. Try to drink BB cup of juice and have BB bottle of beer. We bringing drugs in the country. What are the foreigner or the ourselves? Who's supporting our children? Why are we exposing them? Hey, we killing the children. La Bira wanna let day. Let things are epidemic. So we can in peace, Mr. President. La Bira wanna let day. Oh,
Liberia was not like this. And Padole, during your time, we know that only marijuana, because when you were in the police during the dope time, remember as a small boy, when police people arrest marijuana, they say they go burn it. All the police officers, the army people go behind the smoke and inhale it. This situation been around from marijuana.
When I was burning that thing, they'll cut grass and put in the bed.
So this situation has been around for long. So my question to you, is it about time that we educate the people, the children, especially schools, that drugs is not good, it's dangerous, and also when people graduate from high school, no jobs. They go to university, they graduate, no job. Is it the time that we start concentrating on employment and education on this? And before we build a massive rehab center to clean these people, because drugs will not stop coming. It will always come until we beat a Donald Trump to say we're building a huge border from Sierra Leone all the way to Ivory Coast, which is not possible. Yeah. And we don't have Coast Guard. So, education, employment, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, thank you very much. You see what happened? That's what I've said from the beginning. That when you want to solve problem out, try to identify the cause of the problem. Normal day when you guys were teenagers, you were under control. The government have full control over her citizens. The parents then have control over their children. The civil war that came in the country, it make people lose. That is number one. Wait, my man, don't stick it here. I'm telling you, I was in the country. I saw the war that went on. I saw what the war did to our citizens. Many of the children then today are addicted to drugs and things and rule on the street, doing things off the law. All of them were born during the wartime. From Chatila administration, from Chatila's
the people that were born during the wartime, they were not smoking, they were babies.
Tomorrow,
the people who were smoking that time, they all own now.
Listen to me now.
That's a generation that taking it.
Give me a chance. When I finish, then you can come in, Nico. I am telling you, the war caused serious problem for that country. The war. But the problem have already been caused. Like what Paul just said, what solution that we need to find? Because all of us identify the problem. We know what causing the problem in our country. People bringing the drug and things then, they are off control. Right now is in one of the fastest making money business in Liberia because no job, no activities, nothing. People are just roaming around, no sense of direction. You understand what I'm saying? So that we need to look for government that will be able to provide every means of giving citizens the job to occupy their mind. That is one of the best solutions. Even the children then that right now they are adopted to drug and things. Some of them they are frustrated.
But Dore, I'm there asking quickly. But Dore, look, some people like easy, but some people like to work. So I mean, you bring all the job, lay all the job down. Yeah, remember you got a job around for people. But want money, easy money. The easy money again.
I agree. But
easy money.
There's a lot of serious minded people that want work. But no,
Yeah, but see, drug business it involve money. Serial money people
what I'm saying?
involved in drug activity too. They are
In fact, when
involved.
people are working and they can afford, that's when they'll do more job.
Let we have a responsible government to look for job for the citizen. Let the citizen, let something occupy the people.
I think the government here, we have governments in the past.
Because he's a major employer.
We teach government to be.
By right, government should not be like that. But in Africa, more especially
let's have time now.
Okay, by right, you're not supposed to be like that. The private entity is supposed to be the employer. But in our country, in our areas, government is a major employer. You see the problem? Instead of giving chance, some of the institutions and things there supposed to be privatized. Give it to.
So pardon, let me ask you a question. Because Francis said, let me ask you a question. Francis said something here that people, you can be employed making about $20,000 a month, but somebody who bring $1 million to you to bring you there, and you look at it, you say, oh, but they think here, I'll take it. And most people that accept the money,
these are dishonest people.
Or they are dishonest.
Definitely.
Okay. So you agree with me with my honesty right now, right?
These are not honest people. You understand what I'm saying? They are very. You know what happened when somebody is like what I was trying to say here, but Linford did not give me chance to.
No, I gave you a chance. You learn though.
No, I didn't learn. You didn't give me chance to complete it. I said Africa introduced certain things in the security sector, but you don't give me chance to free it.
You said it.
You said it when they get free housing.
I said, listen to me. I said they gave them different institutions setting incentives.
They get drugs in Arukos.
So basically, when you Paul Chilopre and Linford and Francis, if you got a job, got so many incentives behind, you think you will play with that job?
People can take risks. We have seen it. People can take risks.
Yeah, when you take risks, it will be only few people will take that risk.
Okay, Paul, can I come in now?
So, Padre, we get a message. So we got about 3 more minutes to get out of here. Linford, Francis said something here, and that is very profound. What he said about you can be on job, but then money too can fall your eye. Say,
but then I said the same thing that you can pay the guy $5,000 then he meet a man with $100 million draw, and the man said, I'll give take out of the $100 million, I'll give $10 million now. How much making 5,000?
So my point to you here, Francis said something about what happened in Singapore, Malaysia, the places when you're caught. Is that something that Liberia need to introduce?
No,
I made a podcast. I made a podcast early or in the middle part of this August, and I recommended that.
Some people will die for nothing.
And I said it does not, make my heart happy to see my kinsmen, my countrymen die. But if the government can reintroduce the death penalty, anybody who is caught with drugs, not usually boy in the street, they still go sending our old horse or in the grave smoking. No, your own sentence will be like maybe 5 years somewhere where you will be going for vocational training at the same time while you're going through rehabilitation. But the distributor, the person who is selling it, who is receiving it from the importer and selling it, that person should have at least up to 15, 20 years in jail. But the mean men who bringing it from outside into the country, firing squad, and don't go kill a guy in the corner, put a guy straight on Broad Street, broad day, call everybody, make it national holiday, everybody you can see. You fire this guy here, the guy died right there in front of you. No, let me tell you, in Singapore, Francis said it right, in Singapore, common chicle, when in fact you on a plane before the plane land, they tell you, you don't chew chicle in this country and throw, do not get you away chewing it for. Let alone throw it down. Because the fine is big. Okay? In Thailand, when they catch drug people, the vigilante group in Thailand, the ordinary citizen, when they catch you, they train in Nigerian garden from 15 story up on the sidewalk. They throw in through the window. So when you see that man smash on the sidewalk, bring scatter, whether you're having $1 million drug, you go drop it in the water, unless you want to die. Okay? So there's certain things you can do. You close your eye. This is a guy who importing drug to damage the entire country. So if you grab him and kill him, they will not say you grew up. One man destroying 5 million people and the government destroying that one man, which one you prefer? So I would support if they reintroduce a death penalty, especially for the importers and the distributors. I'm not talking about the poor boys who smoking it. Now, somebody and Padole is talking about the war. The war, yeah, we know during the war, but before the war, they were drugs in Liberia. The baby boys were doing drugs. Okay, and the thing about money. Let me go. When people get money, they can be tempted to do anything. Most of the drug people, their money, they're millionaire. People drink drug. People drink cocaine. They're not poor boys. Cocaine normal for one grand. So drug, it doesn't depend on whether you get money or not. And when it comes to the war time, we know the drug that are in Monrovia or around the country, mostly it was opium. Okay, I was with the rubber balls and so now it was my first time see opium farm. Okay, they went there to collect the bed, but it was not as dangerous as what's happening now. This thing that coming is dangerous. So the children, if we say that the war brought the drug, yes, people might have imitated it. But look at the war entered 1990. From 1990 until today, about 35 years, 38 years or something like that. Okay, 37 years or 35 years. Okay, long time. So the people, if the guy was 25 years fighting the war and he was smoking drugs, it was 35 years, that meant 70 years, that meant he not money use that smoking the drugs today. Okay, and we are in an evolving war. The war is not what you're looking at 1960, 1965, up to 70. No. Somebody can sit on the internet right now and see something happening far off. So people learn. So it's not about the war that came that war. The children are smoking now, some of that 15, 16. They were born after the war. So who get them drug? How they learn to smoke and during the war time? No. It's not. But the war has evolved and a lot of dangerous things has happened. People are learning plenty of things. There was a guy who started in Germany and called somebody from America, tell him, they can, I'll kill you and cook you and eat you. The man agreed to come. See? So people, a lot of things happen. Pornography has improved. You can sit in your home. You need to go on the sidewalk to look for a woman. You can sit in your home and see any kind of woman you want. You can talk to them physically. They will do what you want them to do. Right here. No. More than 100 sites. Okay? So all these things can teach people. So you got to go way back to 1940 and go say it happened in 1940. No. The world has evolved and we need to be proactive to tackle what we are faced with, the reality. This internet has got a good side and a bad side. And that's the bad side we're struggling with. You know that somebody can sit down and teach you how to make cooking, right here, and teach you how to do it. Yeah, so you say the man who was smoking way 1940, who not that one maybe are smoking today. No. We agree that the war.
Yeah, so Francis, you gotta
conclude on 10 years from now, sorry, and let me just close on this. 10 years or 20 years from now, the generation that they'll be blaming all. They say, the people who are living in 2005 were smoking, but they're not looking at the present day reality. So forget that thing that happened in 1990. About half of them dead. Some of them, they're not even functional anymore. So it's not possible that their action will transfer to a boy who was born 2005. No, it's not possible. 2005 now has its own reality.
Thank you very much.
So based on the hardship that young people now involved in, lack of unemployment would be one of the cause, or education is another one. That should we now go back to the community value, whereby if I born my child and then my child misbehaving, friends they called him and gave him 5 on his baham, he come home there and gave him 5 to tell him, say what you did was wrong. Should we go back to that days, or will never happen again? Or what do we do? Education, rehabilitation, all require money.
Yeah, Paul, as what you were just saying is one of the sensitive way of handling this kind of situation that we have in our country. I am seeing sometimes Linford does not understand what I am talking about, that the war caused this problem. Not the war came in a country, make people to be loose. Than one of the nasty things the war did in that country. Like what you just said.
But let me get remind you of something. You'll talk, you'll get your time. But let us not forget about this war that bring that. Look at America. In California, LA, where they made all the film, where millionaires live. There's a place in California called Figueroa, which was one of the highest point of rich people living. All of them that draw people now. in the middle, not outside, in the middle, get a Monrovia Broad Street, and Figueroa, which is bigger than like the whole of Monrovia, in LA. The people there, because they draw, it doesn't have to do with war. This is mindset. People, the recent reality, they're not for war. There was no war in Figueroa.
There was no war, but they gave the people Songaland, Larry's freedom that nobody can't come. They did not honor no certain strong restriction. So obviously, you see him obeying require restriction. So that's one of the things I'm saying, Paul. When the war came in our country, you parents, when we were small, if you do something, your neighbor see you doing it, you will whip you. And if you go home, your parents know about it, they will whip you. But now these days, the one war came in, everybody tell loose, no control. So obviously, he might be required. Listen, I agree. He might be require some restriction. Discipline need to be in a system. Majority of the children then that misbehaving on the street, they are loose. You're not no disciplinary something. Government will not be the eyes of every corner to discipline people. You understand what I'm saying? The citizens themselves have to stand friendly to discipline one another. But that is not happening. That is not happening.
So on that note, that is not happening. We're going to close out this program. And to our viewers on YouTube, just give a thumbs up from YouTube so we can recognize you, because we know that a lot of you following us from YouTube this evening as well. So, gentlemen, our country in a serious mess, and this not an easy solution to the crisis that happening in Liberia. I know now because communities now decided to be taking a vigilante line going after those ghettos, and but then with this is everybody need to pull hands together and fight this situation. And I tend to agree with Francis and Linford here. If one of those big cartel is caught, if they cannot execute them, but there's something else people can do. You play a poll on Broad Street for 5 days. Every morning, give this 25 lashes every day, and bring people video. They will see that when you are caught in Liberia with drugs, you bringing drugs in. This is what you do in the Singapore style.
Guess who will beat the guy? Bring the scenes to go. Say you can't beat it there, and then they that.
Give them good 25 every morning for 5 solid days. Let people see it publicly that these are the guys that bring in drugs, and this is the punishment. And after beating you, you go in jail for 20 plus years. When you come back, you never spoil somebody's child with drugs anymore. I think there should be a harsher punishment on these people when they are caught. That's how I say. So we all need to pull hands together and fight this something. That's my take on it. I want 2 minutes each of everybody. Let's close the show. Guys, Padori will start with you. Oh, he's on the phone. Francis?
Listen, Paul, that's a good analysis, good, points raised by everybody here tonight. The thing is that, look, Liberia will continue to suffer drugs based upon the circumstances in the area we find ourselves, and until we become independent financially, stable as a country, because we are aid dependent. All those harsh things you're talking about will not happen, because the poor want human rights, but in that country they don't know how. The people don't know how to do it.
They're doing it.
They're doing it in their country, but because they're giving all aid, they don't want us to do it. The people burning down all the forests in the country setting, the thing they say we will not sell on the forest, we will not do nothing. So until we become independent financially, mentally, socially, spiritually, all that thing I've like all I can say.
Padre, what say you for Linford?
Yeah,
About 2 minutes.
yeah, just a few minutes. To be realistic, we got a long road to go in this drug issue. The drug matter is now a one-day show. So I want everyone ought to know that to control, because some of the people that are adapted to the drug, to even take that thing for in their system, will require time. So that is to control the drugs, the free flow of drugs in the country will require proper security planning by the central government. So, and we don't have such a capacity at this stage. So to control it, it will take time. That's why I would say about the drug issue. You see, so what we need to do, like you just said, community educational system need to be employed. And some of these polling times way of handling situation, we need to introduce that. The disciplinary technique need to come back into our society to discipline our children there. Let the children then be afraid to say, when I do this, my uncle or my neighbor, when he see me doing it, he will penalize me. Even my father will not even say a word. So all these things then, when they come in the mind of the children then will be under control. Because they follow one another and look at some of these nonsense things that are happening on the YouTube and things there and behave that way. So we need to introduce some level of disciplinary technique, not only from the government, but all the citizens, all the inhabitants must take some responsibility to do so. That's why we say about the drug issue.
Thank you, Padre, because you said that the war brought drugs. So we get somebody here, Toby Wilson said, poor excuse that war have done long since. Well, Linford telling you so. Just to let you know, Linford, conclude.
Okay. You see, the war on drug itself, I think, again, I'll repeat myself, it requires commitment, it requires honesty, because this thing that big money thing we're talking about, quick money, it's like lotto, that quick money. Once that draw struggle, it fall down in your hand, you reach right away. Imagine, listen to that video that was circulating a few days where the guy said, by the time the woman business arrived to arrive, people already standing waiting to buy. So that woman gotta go, she not carrying the, oh hey, let's say buy your orange, buy your bitter ball. No. 1 minute, she's millionaire right away. Okay, so it requires, it's a syndicate. It's very hard to fight. This is not a small thing. They draw thing a big and draw that coming to Liberia. If it is from abroad, far away from Africa, let's say it comes from Colombia, it will hit maybe Eastern Europe or maybe Russia. From Russia, it go back to America. From America, it can't trace it easily because that syndicate. Okay, so we the end users, when I say we, because it coming to our country, and because of our vulnerability, like what Francis was saying, a poor country we need money. Any source of money. No, let me tell you, anybody bring drug to the government, say sell the drug, 100 billion, so you can do it. The government might accept it some kind of way. I'm not saying, I'm just giving some high example, okay? Because we need money. We are a struggling country. The people who inputting some of these things, they are connected. And like friends were citing example on the forest, they tell us do this because we depend on them. If you don't do it, you will not get your aid. You see, the same people, they say we should abolish our local society, like the Poro and the Sane Bui, and now go with this and that. But the same people, they can go, they tell men to a woman, they tell two men to marry a good. Yeah, because when we do it, then we get what we want, but we will not practice our own, and we agree. So long time, we've lost our value so many ways. And so we suffer this thing for a very long time, and we need to be independent. Then the last thing I'll close on is education. To educate people against this thing. If the people can bring this book called the Bible and convince you that there is one God sitting down behind his car that you will never see, didn't say no see, and you believe it, you can also convince your children, make them to believe that drug is not good or to know. This one, you got to tell them to believe it. Tell them, say, look at your friend, John, you and he used to be playing around. John crazy because you drink drug. So that one can see it. They got to tell them to believe it. If people can tell you to believe something, you believe it. Then why you can't tell your child to see something that is physical and you know it? So we need strong education. It should start from the family. It should be done in the school. Okay? Every school should have something in their curriculum to teach about drug, to tell them that this is not good. You know, in Europe, they teach the children about sex. So by the time my 5-year-old son, I used to tell him to. The other day he told me, he said, no, they need that to. I said, well, I said, shut up, go move from here. You see it? So it's start teaching them. So they know already. And when you make, psychologists have noticed that the word do not is the most dangerous word in the entire language, English language. Do not. So by the time you say do not do drug, and you tell a child the effect, or you grab him, you being for drug. You say, but there's something about this that they don't want to do. But let them know what it can do. Educate them about the effect. Okay? So that the education is the most integral part. When we start with that, because the education will start dealing with we'll sink that into the minds of the would-be users, who are the children. They are the most vulnerable people because peer pressure can make people to do things. So by the time they get educated, then the government or whoever want to take on the war to fight the drug, because the drug thing are two way. If nobody get a corruption, if nobody receiving, nobody will give. So if nobody smoking the drug, you bring $1 million drug in the country, nobody buying it, there will be no need to bring it. So once we can educate the children and people get to know that it's not good, not only the children but all the users, get them to know that it's not good, because this one you're not telling them to believe, you're showing them physical evidence, carry them to the graveyard, let the schools take trips. You show them, call the school, say, look, you see the boy you were telling you see what the drug doing to you. Let the schools introduce into the curriculum lesson about drug use. You see what they do here with children, with sex education. Children know already. So even if they want to experiment, it will not be strange for them. So I will close on that, and we hope, instead of throwing the blames on government, let all of us, parents, you got children living with you, be a part of that education, and it will help to save our country. Or else, like Francis said, we can't stop this thing, it will continue to come. But if nobody using it, if the level of usage decreases, the people gonna have business, they will not be encouraged to bring it. Thank you so much for tonight.
Good. Thanks. Thank you, Linford, for that. I think Toby Wilson also agree with you here of your closing on this 100%. And also he's saying there, see, he said what? So guys, it was a good show. And to our viewers, those of you subscribe, on YouTube, just subscribe on our page, please. We'll ask you to subscribe and share the show. We here every Tuesday and Friday. Sometimes we come on when something happens. Impromptu, we back. It could be tomorrow, be here. We could be here Sunday. If something big come up. But the drugs issue, we are asking all Liberians, let's put hands together. Educate our brothers and sisters. Drugs is bad. They seen their friends in Monrovia falling and dying around the country. The new zombie drugs that in there, they want to cause spark, people can just take in a drop. So it's something that we all need to talk to our people. Let them be aware, the children. What are the peer pressure? Left is left. One way or the other, you can use your own brain. God gave you to find means of survival, but not drugs. Drugs kill you quick. So on that note, please subscribe to our program. Please subscribe on the YouTube channel. If you follow on from the bottom line page, share the page, and then we here on Tuesday. Linford, you want to close off?
Yeah.
Message for our viewers.
Yeah, we just want to say thank you to Padole and tonight. And this is what we do on the program here. We don't agree all the time because we all thinking different. Padole, that security, the old man, that security man. He's looking at the thing the security way. Me, I look at it the other way. Francis too is being between security man and then he the diplomat, the politician, so he can look at it from different way. But me, I look at it the raw way. So we got different views, and that's what makes this program here important. Because if all four of us sit there and agree, I say A, then everybody say A, the other man say C, then everybody say, then we don't all be. No, we got to make it interesting so that we can bring views. Everything that we are saying tonight was correct. Nobody was wrong. We all trying to pull up, it's all in the interest of the country. So I want to say thank you very much to all of us. And Francis, welcome. You got to tell me the secret where that trade you made. You got to make report.
But definitely, I mean, we met the ambassador. The credit to United States of America. We had some fruitful discussions about we in Scandinavia, and well, we discuss more of behind the scenes.
Okay.
Well, right. So I think I need before when I go to Liberia, I need to speak to the president. Look, we have an ambassador in waiting in Sweden for the Scandinavia. So, Francis, don't be surprised when your name appear on the social media that you've been appointed.
My man, President Boaka, you knew you, man.
My papa, I met him twice. So
really?
Yeah, I met him twice. When you're vice president, I met him in office twice. So,
okay, I haven't seen him before.
Don't be surprised when we put in message for a new ambassador in Sweden because the Scandinavian need an ambassador. You never know. We can push these things forward. So
thank you.
Okay. So guys, on this note, we're going to close tonight. We'll be here on Tuesday, and this is the last edition of the program for August. And the first edition will be on Tuesday, which will be, I think,
the second.
So you can join us at 7 o'clock Liberian time if you're watching from Liberia, and then you can join us 7 o'clock Liberian time, 9 o'clock Central European time, 8 o'clock Great Britain time. That's the GMT, I think. So it's good to be here, and like our page and follow when I will come on. Will be prompted. That's sound that we are on. So thanks to all of us, Peter, Toby Wilson, the whole group. We are plenty tonight. Scott Sherry, Jefferson, and the whole group. Come back next week and we'll be here tonight. This is how we'll let you take you home. Since we're talking about the draw, this is how we'll let you take you home.
I love 2G beats. La Bira wanna let it. La Bira wanna let it. Oh, La Bira wanna let it. La Bira wanna let it. Drugs everywhere, ghetto everywhere. Our children are the victim, but then we hating them. We calling them so go because they're stealing. They're doing all kinds of things to keep up with that habit. La Bira wanna let it. Oh, when I was growing, we used to play. We used to play lapa. We used to do high and see. We were not taking the push, taking the drugs. We the BB people then are supposed to be protecting the children. Try to drink BB cup of juice and have BB bottle of beer. We bringing drugs in the country. What are they foreigner?